Welcome to Working Dog Radio.
All right, we are back. Working Dog Radio, broadcasting the bite. I'm Ted Summers. Everyone knows who I am. We're in Tulsa. I'm always in Tulsa, except I won't be here shortly. The next episode is coming up. We're going to be at where we're talking about from today's episode. But anyway, always with me is Eric from Ohio. Did it finally warm up?
Yeah, fake spring, man. March is fake spring. It got real nice, and then today, on my way down here to the funhouse, it was snowing. It was 70 yesterday. March is the worst month of the year because when I was a kid, March was spring, kinda. You could get your bike out, whatever. Now the circle of a year has shifted, and March is winter still. So,
man, yeah, it's supposed to be 18 degrees here on Monday, and then next Friday our high is supposed to be 95. So I'm like,
we won't see 95.
Yeah, dude. No. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking, and it's gonna rain. We've already had some tornadoes tear stuff up. I'm like, it's officially Oklahoma spring. My handlers that aren't from, I got some handlers in school right now. It ends tomorrow, but they're from Colorado, and the tornado sirens are going off. It's like, is this normal? I'm like, oh yeah, this is just
we call it Thursday.
Yeah, it's also whatever.
Wednesday.
It's like it'll be fine.
This episode is brought to you by KINETIC Dog Food, KINETICDogFood.com. Ted and I love it, man. It's such a really, really good high-performance dog food, but also their 24K formula. We use it for training. It is amazing. A nice big piece. No chicken in that particular formula. So if you get a new dog in from Europe, you don't know if he's allergic or not, don't worry about it. Check it out, KINETICDogFood.com.
Our friends out in North Carolina at Highland Canine Training run great green and Finnish dog programs, as well as an online and in-person police supervisor course. Hit them up at highlandcaninetraining.com. That's letter K number 9, highlandcanine.com. 30% off the discount code WDR30.
This episode also brought to you by Horizon Structures, horizonstructures.com. They will custom build you a kennel, drop it off, hook it up to your water and electric, and have that thing running with dogs in it the same day. They can custom build one. They got some already pre-built. Check them out on their website, horizonstructures.com. Anything you need from mild to wild, they're there.
One of the longtime supporters of the show has been Ray Allen Canine in Colorado Springs, Colorado. They've been around forever. RayAllen.com, where you can buy literally everything but the handler of the dog and the patrol vehicle. Everything else you can get from them. Hit them up, WDR10RAY for 10% off your order. That's WDR, the numbers 10RAY.
One of our longest sponsors is DOGTRA, DOGTRA Official, DOGTRA.com. We love DOGTRA. Their products are so good. Their e-collars, their ball poppers. Ted uses all kinds of different things at his place, from pet dog e-collars to working dog e-collars. He loves the hands-free 1900S. They've come out with some new models lately and an amazing new bark collar called the Smart Bark Collar. Check them out. Dogtra.com, WDR10 for 10% off a single item over $200. Dogtra.com.
Somebody that's been with us since the beginning is Arnaud out in Vegas at ALM Canine Equipment. If you follow me on social media, you see me wearing my ALM suits all the time. It's all I wear. I've got several of them. Eric's got several of them. We love Arnaud. We love ALM, custom made in Vegas. WDR or WD Radio for 10% off. That's WD Radio for 10% off. ALM Canine Equipment. That's letter K number 9. ALMcanineequipment.com.
Yeah, I was just out in California, had some good weather. Actually, funny thing is I was out in California and they had pretty decent weather back home. But so I went out there. I flew out on a Friday to Sacramento. Rich from our buddies over at Police Canine Radio podcast picked me up, and I went to his house, and the next day we did some pet dog because he owns a Ridgeside Canine location in Northern California. We did some training with his folks. I was just showing them something different added with the tone that I'll be doing at my class at Hold the Line this year. Something that it's not even in my book. I just really kind of started. I didn't invent it, but I really discovered it and started working it. But then him and I drove to L.A. and we did L.A. With LAPD, Riverside County, Ontario PD, and San Diego County. Sent a couple guys up and went to LA first for a couple days, Riverside for a couple days. Then my wife flew in and we went to Napa to the wine place. Went there for the weekend. So I got there on a Friday. I was there 10 days. I was sick almost the entire time. Soon as I got there, was there good for a couple of days. I woke up like Sunday or Monday, could feel something, and coughed and coughed and lost my voice. Just coughed and probably got a few other people sick. Came home coughing and ended up having bronchitis. That's the second time I've been out to see Rich and have gotten sick on airplane, more than likely. But I will tell you this. So first of all, LA, we went to the LAPD Academy, which is iconic. You know, you go there, you're like, fuck, I seen that gate right there on television shows and movies.
Right, in movies and yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Dodger Stadium's across the street. Like, so it's all, I can't imagine the traffic over there, but it's pretty bad. But we had a great time. We went and used this mall to train down in Crenshaw, on Crenshaw Boulevard. And it was half the mall is dead. Like there's part of it that's going. The back half where we were at, they've made a precinct out of one of it and or substation or whatever. And then we were in this, which I've never seen before. I don't know about you guys. It was a closed Walmart. It was attached to the mall. It was 2 stories. And it had been closed for 10 years. I've never, ever heard of a Walmart having to close. But they said, watch it. They said, we'll open these doors to this thing, and we'll have all these cruisers and dogs, and the homeless will start they're like zombies from that television show, man. So sure as fuck, we open the doors to this part of the mall we're going to be training in. The homeless start coming up, peeking in. One guy tried to ride a bicycle right in the middle of us. I'm coming in there. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they go, you open it and they're finding a way in. They're like water. You know, water finds its way through shit. But now I'll say this. So LAPD was there. They had a few dogs in the class. I don't know how many total they have. They have a decent amount, but they had 3 or 4. 2 of their head instructors, Al, and I forget the other guy's name. He got called away a lot. And then 2 of the handlers were there pretty much the entire time. And I'll tell you, you know, you have big departments, right? And sometimes their units aren't that great or as good as they think, or they just don't get to do the work because of politics. You know, most big cities are liberal as fuck. LA is no different. The parameters placed on the LAPD guys are some of the strictest I've ever heard of. When, why, how, them fuckers still get tons of bites. They got like 7 call outs the 2-3 days we were there, 4 or 5 bites while we were there. So they're still following the parameters, dealing with court, dealing with all the litigious shit out there, the restriction from their command staff and everything, and still 2-3 bites a week as a unit constantly. Like they had 3 or 4 call outs on one night. Like, yeah, we got 2 bites out of it. But it's just crazy if without the restrictions, if they had normal restrictions, like normal places, they'd have 300 bites per dog. It's fucking crazy there. But the 2 guys, the guy and the girl that were there full time, didn't have to leave because like the one guy, Al, the one trainer, great dude, young. I was surprised. He was a good dude. I wasn't surprised he was a good dude, but he was younger, kind of a good up and coming, had a real nice, serious dog. He had to come and go, so he didn't get all of the benefits of the class. But the other 2 that were there squared the fuck away. I came up with a ridiculously stupid scenario at the end of the last day, like tons of moving parts, just crazy dumb shit, all so that they could use the e-collar for different things. And those 2 rocked it. And so kudos to LA. I'll give you credit, man. You don't know how that's going to go with them. The Riverside guys, good dudes, just flat out gangsters. Like their dogs are gangsters. The guys, they still have tight parameters, not as bad as LA, but good dudes. Everybody in full kit the whole time, you know, which I never did that when I was training. I was always like, fuck this. I'm wearing, you know, BDU pants and a fucking t-shirt, which I probably shouldn't have, but, and then a couple guys came up, instructors from San Diego County. Good, real good people, man. The Ontario was a guy and a girl, nice young dogs. So I had a good time, man. But so Napa was on my wife's bucket list, her life bucket list. I think it was a letdown. I'll be honest with you. I think it was a letdown. the wine was not incredible, right? It was not great and ungodly expensive.
All right, this episode is brought to you in part by KINETIC Dog Food, KINETICdogfood.com. We've been using KINETIC for quite a while at the kennel here at Torchlight. We feed the 26 and the 28K formula in feeding for the dogs over there, but I also use the 24K for all of my imprinting for obedience and imprinting for tracking. If you follow me, you've seen me do the tracking stuff where I do the Dickstall method, who we've also had on the show. But it's great because it's large and it doesn't get greasy and gross in the pouch. I've seen a lot of dudes with drop pouches that look like they're carrying dirty socks around, and it's disgusting. This doesn't do that. It's not greasy. Also, it's not a chicken-based formula, so if you get dogs in from Europe, you're not sure if the stomach is going to handle it. And it's a fairly low-calorie version, too, so you can do 1,000,000 reps and not have to worry about dog getting fat. KINETICdogfood.com. Also, we've had the guys on the show before, and they talk about it, but they do a lot to make sure that the protein bases are nice and pure and that the stuff that they're adding to it actually adds additive to it. And they're not filling it with pocket lint and sawdust like a lot of other foods. So hit them up, KINETICdogfood.com.
Yeah. You got to bring the big boy
expensive.
wallet for that. Yeah.
Yeah. We went to Coppola's winery. It was cool. Francis Ford Coppola sold that winery. He's in Sonoma, so it was like a 45-minute drive. $650 million he sold that for. $650 million, man. So, but like we went to dinner. I can't remember where we went the first night, and there was 4 of us, 2 couples. It was $400.
Yeah.
Dude, I was a cop. I ain't got $400. What the fuck? So, anyways, yeah. So I think, it was beautiful. It was everything you see and you think and everything. But my wife is like me. She's a tightwad when it comes to money, and she's not trying to spend $400. So she offered to pay, and Rich and his wife were, no. 2 credit cards. I'm telling you, you need to split it. And my wife's like, no, we'll pay because you're driving us everywhere. You guys have been great, gracious hosts and everything. And he's like, okay. And it took her 2 days to tell me how much that fucking bill was. I was like, God, bless it. And Rich was like, I'm like, I don't blame you, brother.
Yeah. NorCal,
So,
NorCal is special like that.
yeah, but like where he's
Especially
at,
wine
Chico is normal. It's not bad. Or
Well,
anything.
yeah.
It's just
There ain't no street tacos in Sonoma and Napa.
no.
There is in Chico. There's
Right,
not in
yeah.
Sonoma. There is not. They have good
Anyways.
food. Did you eat at the restaurant I sent you, or did you go to another one?
We drank there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we went there. It was after dinner. We went because we walked by it. So we went there and had drink. Dude, we went to one place, ended up walking out. It was the Culinary Institute of America. They have, it's a giant culinary school, and you can go there, and there's, students back there they're all stressed too. It's going fucking crazy. And we get there, and I go to the bar. I'm going to get a drink while we're waiting to get seated, and I'm just standing there. There's no clients at the bar. These 2 bartenders, I'm 10 minutes. I'm standing there looking at them, and they're talking shit about customers and stuff. I'm like, hey,
100% California.
can I get a fucking drink? And he's, oh yeah. And I said, Captain Morgan and ginger ale. Right. So he's got a bottle of Captain Morgan. Bartender goes and gets the bottle, and he goes, we only have the spiced version, the spiced rum version. And I go, yeah, that's the only fucking rum they make, you dumbass. He's like, oh no, I've seen others. The fuck you have? Spiced rum. And
Yeah.
then I heard somebody that was trying to eat at the bar come over and say, like, can we at least get the bread we ordered? It's been 25 minutes. And I was like, oh, this isn't good. So we go sit at a table, man. And 20 minutes goes by. No one comes to no waitress, no nothing. So we got up and left. We're like, yeah, we end up going to a sweet ass burger joint, like a walk right down the road. Sweet ass burger joint. Saved us probably $150. So
To not be looked down on and told that you didn't know what you were ordering. That 100% sounds like Northern California. Anyway, so who do we? Oh God damn it! If I could tell some stories, this is not what this podcast is about, though. But who's our guest today?
So we want to get our buddy Joe Lutkowski back on because Hold the Line's coming up here. It's closing in. We're a month away, basically. And we want to get Joe on here just to talk about what's coming up new and just not just the show, but like his retirement coming up and what his career was like and things like that. So without further ado, I don't know if you like this or not, but people call him Pocono Joe. Is that an old Castle Canine thing? How far back does that go?
Yeah, that's Castle Canine. That's I got that name because nobody could pronounce my last name down at Castle, so they just like, yeah, we'll call you Pocono Joe. I'm like, okay.
Because Aaron Taylor still calls you that every time he goes, yeah, I was over there the one time. Pocono Joe was over there looking at dogs, and I'm like, okay. So, anyways, Joe's with us here from Hold the Line, and how are you doing, buddy? It's
good, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. As always, I appreciate the support from you guys. I'm doing good. A little stressed, but that's par for the course. Right around this time, I only quit 3 times this year. Jillian, I'll tell you, I quit 3 times. But no,
that's like good. 2 less than last year. Or?
Yeah, 2 less than last year. Yeah, we're good. So,
dude, you said when we were off air about you retiring in a little bit. For some reason, I thought you dropped paper recently.
Yeah, I'm in the drop. I'm currently in our drop program, so I have a year in it. I could do 2 more years, but my dog is 10. He just turned 10, so I'm going to try to work him probably till the end of the year, maybe. It depends. He's pretty healthy. He's a shepherd, but he's like a Malinois, a shepherd's body. He thinks he's 2, so I'm going to try to work him until he can't work no more. I don't want to, when the time is up. So when he goes, I think I'm going to go too. I think we're both going to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so, because I've been in Canine now for 24 years, and to go back into the patrol, I not that I can't do it, but I don't know. It just seems like I kind of want to go out where I came from. You know what I mean? I want to go out as Canine now. So
one of the guys here in Tulsa, who I'm not going to mention his name, but he's been in Canine about the same amount of time, and they've never had a fully staffed position as far as I can remember, or fully staffed like canine positions. And he went ahead and retired his last dog early so that he could get a new one, because they're afraid, because with our laws changing about sheriff's deputies now being able to get into the retirement program, enforcing the retirement stuff, he's afraid that his dog would retire when they were worried about staffing issues and sending back to patrol. And he's like, bro, I haven't booked anyone in jail in 15 years. I don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah. He's like, I ain't been down. He's like, dude, you can't. He's like, what am I going to do down there? He's like, I wouldn't even know what to do. They're going to fucking quit. Yeah. So he's like, so if I have a young dog, they're like, oh, we're not going to take the dog from him. Let him go finish working out the dog. And by the time the next dog retires, I think he should be at his 25. So like, he's like right at that like spot. And I saw him yesterday at certification, and he was just talking about his new dog. And he's like, man, I'm looking forward to the rest of this, but Jesus, I'm glad I've got this new one, because I do not want to go back to the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, think about it. If you work for an agency like I did, that the canines, we don't handle regular calls. We're not doing reports. We handle canine calls. That's it. When you leave canine or whatever, so say you get promoted and you leave or whatever, you go back, you're like, hey, rookie, how the fuck do I fill out this report on the computer? We didn't have these.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, I get it. Now, most drops, though, you got to get 3 years in, right, to get the good money, or no?
Hey, I just want to hop in here real quick and talk about some people that have been with us since the very beginning and helped make this entire show possible. It's the guys from Colorado Springs, Ray Allen Manufacturing. They've been around since the 70s and have been producing world-leading canine equipment for the entirety of their existence. You can get literally everything from them except for the dog, the car, and the handler. Everything else they got covered. Inserts, heat alarms, harnesses, leashes, ball poppers, e-collars, everything else that Hermspranger makes, and they have everything available. It's a one-stop shop. If you're a canine handler listening to this, your admins love working with them. They know how to bill, and you can buy everything. So admins just have to write one check. Since we have been partnered with them, they've been gracious enough to grant a discount code. This one's going to work until the end of March of 2026. So you're going to type in WDR RAM. WDR RAM. That'll work till the end of March. Get you
10% off anything you want out of there. But yeah, go check them out. Everything you need for working dog, for police dog, for sport dog, and for pet. Hit them up, rayallen.com.
No, so with ours, it's basically I go in, I have to set a date. So 3 years, I could only stay 3 years, but I can leave anytime. So if I leave tomorrow, my pension starts and I just get that money that I put in. So yeah, it's beneficial for me to stay the 3 years, but you know, there's other things in life I want to accomplish, I think. And, you know, I'm not getting any younger, obviously. So, you know, I'm looking to move, probably down to South Carolina.
I think I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's in the works as we speak. So
Did you buy a place?
I bought some property. I bought some property.
Nice.
So, I'm just sick of the cold weather, you know.
Yeah,
like
dude,
you were
I'm telling you. I'm not doing winters anymore. This one, you guys got killed. We got killed.
Oh, we had 28 inches of snow. 28 inches. I'm like, this year was like,
Guys, he's in the mountains and 28's a lot. Like, just think
Yeah.
about that.
It's
It was up
crazy.
to my top of my knee in my backyard.
So-
and then 20 below zero on top of that.
yeah, I was freezing. This winter's been brutal. It definitely makes me want to get down to South Carolina quicker.
Yeah.
know?
South Carolina is legit.
Yeah.
And land is still not expensive down there.
No, it's not. And so we'll see. And, you know, I got a couple opportunities down there. So we'll see where I end up, you know. But
Health is good.
yeah, health is good. Always trying to lose weight, you know, once I hit that 50 mark. Yeah, you know, but I like my candy, you know, that's my problem. That's my problem.
I seen old pictures. You used to be were you like not a power lifter, but heavy on the weights?
Yeah. Where'd you see that?
I don't know. This is a long time ago. I saw it. I can't remember. I was like, oh, it's my buddy there. It might have been Aaron. I don't remember.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I used to put up some weight. I had a couple of state records here in Pennsylvania, national record, but just benching. And then, you know, they used to joke with me, well, your arms are only this big, so
Right, yeah. You don't have to go very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you come through the benching during the shirt era?
Yes,
They had
I
the
hated
benching?
it.
Dude, I tried it one time. I couldn't stand that.
Yeah.
It tore me up.
Horrible. Two guys to get you into it for what? And then I got cut on the back and I never really got a lot of weight out of it. Guys would be getting 40, 50 pounds. I would get like 20, 10,
Yeah.
15. And I'm like,
And a
what am I-
cramp.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a good part of my life. I'm still in the gym, still hitting the gym. I did start, you guys are probably going to laugh, but I did start doing hot yoga.
Did you really?
It's pretty good.
Dude, my girlfriend does fucking hot Pilates, and she's like, you should go do this with me. I'm like, all right, cool. And I did. I was like, fuck this. Like,
brutal.
that shit is fucking hard.
Dude, it's no joke. No joke. I did that. I did hot Pilates a couple of weeks ago, and this lady, 62 years old, kicked my ass.
I bet.
I was just like, wow, it's good.
Yeah, on purpose, probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So,
Like, oh, look at you, big boy. Come here.
yeah. Oh yeah. It was a good workout. I was drenched, but yeah. So I'm still hitting the gym though, trying to get stay in shape, and because with this job, it's not getting any easier, and these younger kids, and they always call me, I'm the old guy now. I never thought I'd
no
be
shit,
that old
right?
guy, but
Let's talk about your dog because nobody gives a shit about humans. Let's talk about your dog.
No. He's my name. I've had him for like 9 years now. He's trained in patrol and narcotics. I got him from over in he came from Slovakia. Typical import. He's
Hilo,
good.
right?
Yeah. What's that?
HILO, right?
Yeah, Hilo. Yep. So we've been working the street. We had a lot of successful deployments, and I'm still using them. What was it? Last month I got 2.5 pounds of meth off the street off a traffic stop. So he's doing really well. I mean, I'm very fortunate with him. He's got a good demeanor. So I got lucky. But we're
How's
still
his
working.
tracking career been? Because you guys are out there.
We do. You know what? It's weird because we don't get that many tracks anymore. Like back in the day when I had my first dog, my second dog, we were tracking all the time. But I think with the cell phones and guys don't want to run into the woods anymore because, where I work, it's very, wooded areas and there's bears and, whatever. People are afraid of bears, but, we don't get a whole lot of tracking anymore. And so it's like, he's a good tracker, but I I mean, I've had a couple good successful tracks like not too long ago, like last year, but not that many. It's weird.
Yeah, I've always say though, as a handler, finding people biting, getting a guy in a basement or whatever, and dope is cool. If you get anything from a track, it's pretty fucking awesome.
It is.
Because it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Tracking's hard. And I use them a lot for article search because we got a lot of guys dumping, gun casings and stuff like that. So we've had a couple of knives that we found and some domestic. But so his article search is really good, which I know it's not it's not
Glamorous, but yeah.
right. But it's, for him, he loves doing article search. I mean, it's
Why? That's a staple of Ted's stuff is articles, like finding articles and then back chaining for his tracking and everything like that. So, it's like you're tracking and you find a wallet, you find a coat, that shit's great. It's great when it works out. It's hard because of cell phones. It's hard to catch people, but
it really is. And I think that's just changed the whole dynamic. And most of the time we're short staffed, like every department. So we work night shift with 3 guys and we cover almost 400 square miles. So yeah. So to get a perimeter, I mean, it's not even, it's almost impossible.
You guys got drones in there now?
We just, the neighboring department didn't. We do not have a drone, which I'm surprised, but the state police, if we need a drone, we call the state police. They'll bring their drone in.
Yeah, it's everybody's expanding. I just had some feds here in my facility a couple weeks ago flying some fucking sweet ass drones in because this place is good. There's hallways and it's pretty good at it. And I'm like, they're like, you want to try it? I go, no, I will crash this motherfucker because I have a nice DJI drone. I've hit so many fucking walls. I've crashed that damn thing so many times, man. I'm the worst with it. What's going on in Oklahoma with the drones, Ted?
So it's largely limited to our large state agencies and some sheriff's departments. Local TPD has they have 2 helicopters, I think they have 2 helicopters. But even the largest sheriff's department in the country or in the state doesn't have helicopter. So we're still kind of like behind. Our state agencies do. The OBN has some good guys. Bureau has some good guys. I think Troop has some guys that are really good. And some of the smaller suburbs and around the larger cities have some good drones. I've actually got a department in class right now that has drones in their town in Colorado that they're stationed on top of the fire department and they're split up in fire districts. And when a call comes out, depending on what it is, the drone can go to the spot and is there a lot of times before any human makes contact. And they've already got eyes on the ground. I mean, I'm like, how the fuck do people even get away with this? How do dudes get away even with it? And they don't. Yeah, they don't now. I mean, it's harder to get away with these, but I mean, because the drones are, and speaking of which, I guess it's probably a perfect segue into the rest of the conversation here, but there's some guys that are teaching some of the drone classes at the conference this year. And that's one of the things is a lot of the drone guys that I've dealt with kind of here and in North Texas, and some of the guys out in the East Coast, they're not canine guys. They never worked around the dogs. They come from the pipeline into that program, from my experience anyway. The pipeline into that program is not the pipeline into canine. It's completely separate people looking at completely separate deals. And when we kind of tell these guys what we need, I take that back. We have some Indian nation, some tribal agencies that have more money than God that have a ton of those things. But even those guys, when we talk to them, how we talk to them, what we need and what we want, where we want the drones and things that we need from them, they're like, oh, okay, well, we didn't know that, or we didn't, and they just don't understand how the dogs work or what we need or what the handlers want. So yeah. So speaking of which, I guess it's a perfect segue. So Joe, you're talking about wanting to retire, so you're going to start another business running a fucking conference. So yeah, you're like, I'm going to do this as a fucking side hustle that's going to kill me. So
and that's
all right. Our next sponsor is really good for the business side of this. If you're in the business of breeding and/or raising police dogs, or even just regular dogs, pets, or gun dogs, or whatever, one of the biggest hassles that we have to deal with is housing. Making sure it's safe, making sure it's high quality, all these things. Make sure it's sterile, it's easy to clean, we can feed. If not, it just creates an infinitely higher workload. On top of that, it's expensive. one of our sponsors from Horizon Structures. They do a great job at making a plug and play drop ready to go as soon as it hits the deck in your location. You have a gravel pad, hook it up to electricity and water. You can put dogs in it that afternoon, and all the guesswork is taken out of it. It's ready to go as soon as it gets there, and you can go from mild to wild. I've seen some that have stainless steel on the inside. It looks like an operating room. It comes with its own air conditioner, all the way down to just like a basic one you need to put in the backyard to satisfy your policy requirements. If you're a canine handler out in the back for a 10 by 10, he's got an indoor outdoor. He's got a little outdoor thing that's elevated, so he doesn't have to stand in any of his waste, and it's easy to clean. So everything from all the way from a single dog all the way up to, I think they do like, what do they do, Eric? Like they do like 16 and 18 like large sizes. So hit them up, horizonstructures.com, and they will get you set up quickly.
That's what I'm looking forward to, retiring, to put more, to give 110% into the conference, because I mean, I do now, but you know, I work a night shift, I work steady nights, and you know, I get up and I'm half sleeping sometimes, and you know, so it's hard to juggle that around. So I'm looking forward to just really getting into promoting the conference and making it, you know, that much better, like going forward, because you know, I feel like we got a good thing going. You know, we do it for the right reasons. And, you know, I just think that there's a need for it. And going forward, my goal is to, like, always, every year we could talk about the instructors, and being a still active canine, I want to get the best instructors that we could possibly get at the conference, because it's essential for guys that are just getting into it. Because I remember those days when I first started canine, you know, there was none of these conferences, and you know, you were kind of, if you didn't have a group to train with, it was hard to figure out stuff on your own. I mean, I screwed up a lot of stuff with my first dog, you know, and I always say that. And, you know, now with all the information out there, and the trainers, and how it's evolved, and it's just, there's so much great information. And it's, if we could put that out and help the handlers just starting off, the new handlers and the old handlers, but I think that's important. And that's kind of what drives me to, you know, make this conference as better every year, that, you know, moving forward.
You and I, we've talked a lot, and, you know, we've taught there since the beginning, since it started in Pittsburgh, and name change and everything else. Ted and I have taught classes together and then separately and things. And the struggle always is new instructors, or same instructors, new classes. So for example, this year, I'm doing my e-collar class again, and I'll be honest with you, this probably should be the last year that I do that class for you. I've done it several years in a row. It's always a packed class, but, you know, at some point, most people are going to see it. So listen, if you're listening to this and you're coming, you haven't heard me talk of my e-collar class, this is the last year at this show that you're going to be able to do it. Now, next year, if I don't have a topic, I won't teach. I'll come and just be a student and go to class and sit at the booth and meet people and do podcast episodes, because I got to bring something new to the mix. Because you know, to be fair to you and everybody else, we need to, you know, keep expanding. Talk about this year, because I know you've got some new stuff. Maybe some familiar instructors like Ted teaching something different, and some people new teaching some new things. Let's talk about your lineup there.
Yeah. So every year we try to, you know, bring in some new instructors, some new topics, like drones, for example. Like that's kind of the big topic that we're talking about. So we have Mike Swerchak coming in, and he's teaching on, you know, a drone class, because, you know, we're seeing it more and more, and we just did his training with the drone, and it's a little different when the drone's over the dog's head. If you don't train that, it could be a really bad distraction, you know, in the real world if you don't do it. And because I didn't realize how low those guys fly these drones over you, like, you know, and they could go high and low, but it's definitely something that you have to acclimate the dogs to, because some of the dogs that I trained were kind of a little freaked out. We're trying to jump at it, bark at it. And I was like,
they'll get a hold of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like dogs and porcupines.
Yeah, so like that's a new class that we're bringing to the conference this year, and I think it's
real quick. Mike was a dog guy, so
right.
Mike started out his career as a dog guy, so he has some familiarity with the dog and the drone kind of concept.
I imagine that'll be like when we had, who was that guy we had on, Eric from LAPD, Jack. He was a tactical air advisor, but before that he was he was a canine handler, and everyone that's ever been to that dude's class was like, that was phenomenal. Because I mean, he was a canine guy and then he became a tactical air advisor with the air unit, and he was a guy that was advocating for the dog from the air, like communicating with guys on the ground, being like, hey, hold on a second. Like, he's around the corner, he's 20 meters away, give the dog X amount of line and let him have it. And I mean, so it's nice to have those people there. So what I was talking about a minute ago, like, a lot of those guys they're not, like, the pipeline is not the same for those guys. So that was one of the classes I'm kind of bummed that I'm teaching at the same time that he is, because I wanted to go to that. And we'll have him on, though. I'll go hunt him down and be like, make him talk about it. So on the show.
I didn't know I had you at the same time, man. I'm sorry. I struggle with the class.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else? What other new things we got going on this year?
Well, I mean, Todd Mona. Love Todd Mona. He's teaching a whole new class on just distractions in everyday patrol, narcotics. So we're kind of highlighting him on the first day, Tuesday, because Tuesday, like, we started off, because we always say it's a 3-day conference, and we never really did classes on Tuesday. But you know, as this evolved, it makes more sense to bring everybody in on Tuesday. So he's going to be doing that class, which is brand new. He's never taught it before. So, me and him talked about, like, what would be ideal for all the handlers, not just your patrol guys, not just your explosive guys. So distractions and everything that we do it affects everybody, not just your narcotic dog. So it's kind of like for everybody, because that's one of the things I try to struggle with, because if you have a lot of narcotics or explosive dogs only, you can't just do all bite patrol stuff, because then they have nothing to do, So we try to break it up, and it's hard. It's a struggle to keep getting new classes, but he's teaching that new class. Craig Mancuso's bringing skids back. Yeah. So that's, last year we obviously didn't have it with the passing of Brad, but
we had his daughter on the show.
Yeah.
It was a good episode.
Yeah,
I was happy to
awesome.
see that she was keeping it rolling.
Yeah, so we have him doing that skids class, which that's a very good class. I've actually taken it as a handler, and it's a very good class. So I'm excited about bringing that back, just because it's very well taught, and it's good. And from what I understand, Craig's going to be a phenomenal instructor. So
yeah, that's cool. So you have some new guys doing some new topics. Let's talk about well-known guys or seasoned dudes.
Yeah, I was going to say,
doing different topics. So, like, for example, Ted.
Yeah, Ted's doing something different this year.
You don't necessarily lead with me, but yeah, I mean.
Well, I'm looking at you, so what the
So, I mean,
Everybody, this episode and every episode is brought to you by our good friends, the Perkinsons down at Highland Canine. If you've been with us for a while, listened to every show, you've heard us talk about Highland, how they offer handler schools. You can buy green dogs. You can buy pre-trained dogs. They have a dog trainer school for dog trainers. It's amazing. But what they're really getting out in front of is the online courses. So if you're having trouble getting your agency to send you places to train, you have two options. You can get on Highland Canine, canine spelled out, highlandcanine.com, and look up some of their online courses. And guess what? They've given us a discount code for the online courses, HK930 for 30% off. HK930, 30% off their online courses. But also, if you don't want to do it online, you can host them. You can host them at your place. It's crazy. They'll come to you. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can just roll out of bed, go to work, and everybody else can come in and train at your place. Just reach out to them at Police Canine, K9, at HighlandCanine.com, HighlandCanine.com, or call 704-500-6810.
The scenario thing. So, I mean, people who listen to this know we train police dogs, and which, there's three facets to that if you do a dual purpose dog. And I think I'm known for the apprehension side, which, whatever. But obviously I'm a very accomplished detection trainer, and I'm obviously an accomplished tracking trainer. I genuinely feel like I have a unique take on imprinting from tracking to finished dog, both in how we train the dog and how we train the handler, and then how to problem solve some things that I normally see. Because I mean, the seminars that we do, like our HRD seminars, we do zero tracking. If we do, it's kind of like it's not a track, right? And so I really, because I get guys ask me questions all the time about tracking, and I'm like, this is a really long answer, and like without knowing the history and some of the other things and how the dog was trained and what he was imprinted on. So to me, and I'll be honest with you, 20 years ago or however long ago when I started this whole thing, I hated training tracking. I hated doing it. I hated it was boring as fuck. It was horrible. Now it is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I love it.
It is now my favorite discipline just because of the variability, I guess is the easiest way to say it. With detection side, there's not a whole lot of variability, especially in narcotics, and especially if the way that we imprint the dogs. It's a fairly straightforward process. We're decades past the whole fucking cocktail versus individual odor shit and stuff now. And we've finally gotten into where I think the industry as a whole is very elevated in terms of what we're doing with detection stuff now. And speaking of stalwarts, you've got the twins, Jenna and Michelle, doing their detection stuff, which is, I love those two. They are fantastic. And that is a great class. But, I think we're finally meeting in the middle. The tracking, not so much. It's still a fucking dark art. It's still wizard shit and Harry Potter waving his wand around. And it's still people treat it like it's fucking magic. And, one of the quotes that I always kind of fall back to when we had Brad Gillespie on, he was like, we're just making novel odor meaningful. Like, that's it. Right. And he was like, and, in the way that he kind of described it, of course, being Canadian, they're some of the best trackers in the world. And that's not a shock that he was like super succinct with it, but he was like, it's not rocket science. And that's the thing. Like, so it's what I'm hoping to show people is like, this is how I start and how I finish and how we train the handler. But if you didn't go to me or whoever, there's a ton of other talented trainers in this country that do it. And this is how you can use what I do in a dog that's already finished to problem solve. And then I kind of go through some of the problems that we already have. And then we kind of talked about it this at the beginning about tracking. Like you were saying, you don't get a lot of tracks. And, I think a lot of handlers think that a track has to end with you finding the person you're looking for. Despite the fact that we have reams of case law in this country and in Canada and in Europe that revolve around evidence that is found in flight paths that help the conviction and or the prosecution of somebody that was arrested previously. So there's a whole other element to it that I think is not really talked about a whole lot because we focus a lot on tricky tracky, findy bad guy, bitey bad guy, do the whole thing. And that's kind of the evolution of it. And I think variability is probably going to be the answer to like a lot of the problems that we have, but that's really more of what I'm talking about more than anything else. And I struggled to find a name for the class when I was like, this is like modern tracking, or I don't know, it's like imprinting to finished dog. I think is what we're fucking calling it now. Yeah. Which is kind of the deal. But yeah. Who else do we have that's new or known that's teaching something different?
Well, Jay Nix is coming back and he's actually teaching a whole different class. Like he's doing like lessons learned in hunting dangerous people. And it's not like, he even told me, he's like, it's not me bragging about what we did. It's more of like focused on tactics and things that go into consideration when you're doing these high end, like, situations. So, that's going to be a good class. Cause I love Jay. Jay's a great guy. Phenomenal.
And to be fair, he's from Florida and they're all fucking sketchy down there. So I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I wish I worked in Florida for like a year cause it'd be great, as a canine handler. Who else do we have doing some, James Sable. He's going to be doing, some different things from the Secret Service.
From building search stuff, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. That was one of my favorite interviews that we did last year total with him during that thing. Talk about a dude that has been there, done that. Like those boxes are ticked on that dude for sure. But he's also very skilled at delivery. So he's engaging. He's easy to talk to. He's funny-ish. He has a very strange sense of humor, but he's like... But no, that class was good. I sat through most of that one, and then we had him on and we interviewed him. But that was a good one for sure.
This episode is brought to you by DOGTRA, DOGTRA official, DOGTRA.com. you guys have heard us talk about it. We've been with DOGTRA for a long time. We love them. They're amazing people. We love their product. There's so many different things that they do. The 1900S, the hands-free. They got all kinds of things, poppers, droppers, all kinds of different things with their e-collar. But I have been a proponent of their YS600 bark collars for a long time. Everybody knows I talk about it. When I had the kennel open, I would come in and show videos of all the dogs being quiet. The YS600, they have the YS300 for smaller dogs. But here's the thing, guys. They just came out with a bark collar called the Smart Bark Collar. Dude, this thing is amazing. It attaches to an app on your phone. You can control everything out of it, see in real time what's working, what isn't working with the dog. But here's the kicker. It catches whining. That's the big deal with that Smart Bark Collar. It catches the whining, because we all know your dogs learn to whine underneath the threshold of other bark collars, and it's super annoying. But with that Smart Bark Collar, it catches the whining. And in the app, while it's working, you can just reach up and hit the vibrate button. There's a little button on your thing that'll vibrate that if that seems to work a little bit better for your dog. Or you can actually administer your own stim as a little bit extra if need be. You can set minimums, maximums, sensitivity levels to pick up that whining. Check out dogtra.com. They have a discount code WDR10, 10% off a single item over $200. But check out that Smart Bark Collar, guys. It is amazing. We've been messing with it in my facility, and my employees absolutely love it. Check them out, dogtra.com.
Yeah, so he's doing something like so, and it's nice because I have a good relationship with a lot of these instructors now. So, me and James talked, and he's like, "Listen, I don't want." He'll do the building class, but he wants to do something different that hasn't been taught before. So he came up with something like it's going to be based out of the car apprehension, focused on like deployment from the car, like from where, starting from the car, because that's where all your scenarios come from. That's where it starts. You get the dog out of the car and boom, it's going. So he's going to do something, with that class and just focus on that. And I think it's going to be a really good class, because I think that's, I think it gets lost in like some of the training we do, because, you always just grab the dog and then go right into the scenario. But a lot of that, going to the call and getting the dog in the right mindset, I think it's, so he told me, he's like, I got something great. It's going to be totally different. And I'm like, that's good. So that's a new class he's teaching. And I'm excited for that one, because he's a great instructor. And like you said, he's the real deal,
Yeah, I see Drew Dubnik's back on.
Yeah, Drew's coming
got a couple
back.
different classes.
Yeah, he's got a new class too. Like he does that uniform neutrality class, and it went over really well last year. A lot of guys wish they. So when we sent out the critiques, a lot of things were like, "Hey, I wish I could have went and saw this class," but because of the times and stuff. So, and that's another thing I try to. It's hard to put guys. It's you can't just have. It's hard because like you have so many good instructors and so many good classes. Which one do you pick? So
Yeah.
So yeah, we're bringing him back on that. A lot of guys wanted to go to that class that weren't able to. So I asked them to do that class again. So it went over really well last year.
Yeah. I see Mike Nesmith is back.
Yeah,
He's doing
Mike.
a decoy thing. He's got a
Yeah,
couple
Mike.
classes. He's got another one, puppy to police dog. Do you know what that's about?
Yeah, he's doing that, like, starting a dog from the puppy stage and getting them all the way trained up to do actual police work. So it's his system that he's been doing for, I guess, a couple years now. And he's going to go over like the basics and how to do it, and, from the ground up, because I wouldn't want to do it. That's hard work. You know what I mean? And
I will say that his the one thing, and having sat through that and talked to him about it, if you're listening to this and you don't get to go to that class, the one thing that he has that is in that class that is 100% on point is the timeline and the performance thresholds, in terms of when you get to a specific age, the dog should be doing whatever. And 100%, he is like, that is down pat. A lot of what he's doing, our thing that we have going in Europe, our Bulgarian project, we have a lot of things that are very similar to that in terms of performance targets and, the dog should be doing these things at this age. And it's nothing more than back chaining, right? Like if we expect a dog at 18 months, 19, 20 months old to do this behavior, back chaining, it looks like this at this age. And that's always been as long as I've known Nesbitt, that's always been one of his skills, one of his best skills anyway. And I mean, he's good at teaching it. So, I mean, I 100% want to go to that one. So we have some guys that are back that are teaching the same stuff that they're known for, but it's because they're really good at it. Brady Smith, Todd.
Yep. Kamisic, yeah, Kamisic's doing his case law. He's a genius with that stuff. We got Jim O'Brien. He's doing the bite table because he loves that bite table. He does a really good job with it. So he's coming back doing that. Obviously Eric's doing his e-collar class. Mike Lilly's he's doing his tracking class on the first day, but then he's doing a detection class for the next 2 days because, like you and like most of the instructors, they're not just well known for track. They're well-rounded instructors. So I asked him to do kind of like a detection class because I feel that's important because, again, we have a lot of narcotics only dogs come in, explosive dogs. So he's doing something a little bit different on that end. And then we got a couple of new instructors like Zach. We're from Echelon.
We're gonna butcher this, and
I think it's Fan and Steel, Zach Fan and Steel.
When I come find you, Zach, just don't be mad that we fucked this up because I have no idea how to say your last name. Although I'm 100% certain that that's not the first time he's heard that. But
just look up Echelon K9 out in San Diego. Zach Fan and Steel, good, solid dude.
Yeah, and then Josh Rollins, he's coming. He's going to be doing like a canine communication class during like tactical situations. So he's a new instructor this year. He came highly recommended by a couple of the other instructors. So excited about his class too. So yeah, we got a lot of new faces and some of the old faces doing some different things just to try to keep it fresh, so it's not the same, well, I already saw this class and, we just keep trying to make it to put out the best, information that we could for the handlers,
Yeah. We have Scott Clark there again from High Drive Canine. It's smart putting Scott right after lunch because he's fucking fired out of a cannon, waking these people up after they got a food coma. But I've been seeing a lot of Scott's. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I've been seeing a lot of his dogs from High Drive Canine. They're nice.
Yeah.
See some really good dogs coming out of his kennel. So
yeah, at the U.S. Marshals, I don't know. They've been doing some. I don't know if you've seen it, but some social media posts and some of his dogs are in with the U.S. Marshals with Franco Angelini. He's there, so they're doing some really cool stuff with those dogs. So it's pretty neat. Seeing some.
Dude, it's been with us since the beginning is Arnaud at ALM, based out in Vegas. Arnaud makes fantastic bite suits. I've been a senior level PSA decoy for a long time. All of my trial suits are ALMs. I love them. I've sent my one jacket back multiple times to have new sleeves put on it because it fits so well. Arnaud works with you through the process, helps you get a design set up. In fact, when I went out to see him in Vegas, he had my original design my original pattern still in the workshop there, and he was able to make me another jacket just out of the one that I have that's like 10 years old. He made me another one. Super high quality materials, super high quality stitching. Great service after the fact if you have to have repair work done. Hit him up, ALM Canine Equipment. That's the letter K number 9.com. ALM Canine Equipment. Use this discount code WD Radio for 10% off. Another person that has been with us since the beginning is the person that wrote the music for the intro and the outro on this. His name's Brother Dege. He's no longer with us. He's a super talented musician, and I actually met him at a live show here in Tulsa. Super nice guy. He was super supportive of what we do here and what police dogs do in general. And he was gracious enough to allow us to use the music for that. Yeah. Wherever you're at, you can look at him on iTunes and on Spotify. Just Brother Dege, spelled Dege, and it's brotherdege.net.
I ran into Franco and his crew in Houston last year, 2 years ago. Had a great dinner with him, got him, watch him work some dogs and stuff. Helped out with give a different perspective on a dog that I was working with from an agency. Dog was badass. The handler just he just needed a little bit better decoy work out of somebody. Not me. The dog did really well for me, and not one of the other guys. So Franco got in there and he goes, "Ain't nothing wrong with your dog." And then that night, the guy got called out twice and got 2 fucking bites. So
That's awesome.
it's like, yeah. But Franco's still getting at it, man.
Dude,
he was in Texas, Houston, Texas. He was in the suit the whole time.
Yeah,
He's like, I thought you were getting out of that shit. And he's like,
Yeah.
And I think he's bringing the bite doctor back a little bit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's doing a couple classes each year now, and I was very fortunate to come up with Franco. So.
And say how far back you guys go, way back, right?
Since my first dog. I mean, I caught his last patrol dog was one of the first dogs that I've taken a bite from. And I'll never forget it. I mean, dog just crushed me, and I was brand new. He's like, "Yeah, just put the suit on, stand there." And I was like, "Okay." So, but yeah. Oh god,
Trial
it was
by
fun.
fire, buddy.
Yeah, but
You still probably don't wear a hat or sunglasses when you're decoying.
No,
'cause
that's
they'll
like
kick you.
taboo because it's in the back of your head. But yeah, I mean, I was very fortunate to come up with him and Bill Castle, and I owe like a lot to Franco because I mean, he was like my mentor. I was like his shadow for years. I mean, I followed him all over, so it was good. I think he is just a little bit. Yeah, I'm short, man.
I'm with you, buddy. We're short kings over here, 5'8".
Yeah.
All right, so I'm a brand new guy, new handler, or maybe I'm a year in or just graduated, whatever. It's my first conference. I'm looking at the lineup. I've never been to a conference. What the fuck do I do? How do I figure out what I want to do? What is your suggestion for a new guy to navigate through the schedule?
Well, I always tell the guys, especially with that I have this question all the time because the guys I train, they're like, "What class should I go to?" I'm like, "Listen, you got to focus on what you want to get out of this conference." To me, like if you need help or you're lacking in tracking or patrol work, I would focus on those classes. Or, if you need like medical, you got Brady coming to do medical because I think that's. Classes that you go through, the schools, they don't really touch on a lot of medical stuff. I mean, they do here and there, but that's important. So I always tell them like, listen, you got to focus on what you think that is your weak spot. Because, and again, it's like a toolbox, like Frank always told me, you go listen to somebody, you have a toolbox, put in a toolbox. If you use it, you use it. But I think it's hard to pick classes because there's so many good classes out there, but I just try to tell guys, I think you should focus on what you think that you need to work on or what you're lacking in if you are in a group or you're just brand new and like, what do you want to focus on,
Yeah. And I tell, real quick, we're going to have an episode come out. It comes out after this episode, I think, where Brady's training 1000% specifically saved a dog. So it's definitely a good idea to do. But I tell guys that like are my friends that come to the conference, especially if you've heard me talk, don't come to my class. Like I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I love seeing people I know or whatever, but you don't need it. You've been through it, or you can just come over to the funhouse and work it. So like do the classes, not just because of who the guy is, but because of what the topics are.
Right.
If you're like, been around your second dog, third dog, maybe look at some trainers courses, so maybe in the future you might be the main guy, that type of thing. So yeah, it's tough. It can look, and listen guys, go to class.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you guys are just going to go there to get drunk or whatever. Getting drunk the night before is an adult decision. Get your ass up in the morning like a fucking adult and go to class. It's not 7 a.m. You can roll your ass in there at 8:15 or whatever it is and go to class.
And we have coffee. We have coffee in the morning. We have coffee and donuts and pastries. So get up, have a coffee, go to class. I
Take notes, ask questions.
Yeah.
And then come to the vendor area afterwards. Like Ted and I we'll have a booth. We'll be there. You can come talk to us. I've had people, because like my class is, I put a lot of information in there and a lot. And they'll come to me and go, yeah, I just didn't understand that part of it. Fuck yeah, come on, man, let's go. I probably have some of my books with me this year. I got a box of them I'm going to bring, I think. I brought them to sell last year. I think I gave every one of them away. All the Marsoc guys got a book. I just fuck it. Signed it and gave them away. As an author, just so you know, if you write a book on Amazon, as an author, the book costs you $2.50. You can give a fucking book away. It's not that big a deal.
Right. Right.
But like you see Ted, stop him. Guarantee he'll talk to you. You see any Ricky Farley, you see him. He's always in the area. Go talk to him. Go ask him, even if it's just a detail on, or hey, I couldn't be at your class, but what is your blah blah blah. I think you'll be surprised at how open and approachable the guys are. You know, if you're new, and listen, also if you're new, you might not know any of these people. None of them. That's okay. It's all right. You'll get, you should be learning that shit though. Like me and Rich were talking the other day about how many canine handlers throughout this country have no idea who Michael Ellis is, for example. That's not good. Like you should be learning who these people are, right?
You brought up a good point. Like you going to the vendor hall and so you're not in a classroom setting, but you're in like a social setting. I think you get more out of that sometimes than, sitting in class is important. Don't get me wrong. But, like you said, talking to you after class or at the vendor hall, having a drink, it's just a more informal setting. And as a new canine handler, it's good to soak up all that information and that kind of atmosphere because, again, like you go to class and it could be a little bit intimidating sometimes. But if you're at the vendor hall, having a beer, shooting the shit, joking around, you might get more out of that than, sitting in a class. But again,
I might say twat at the vendor hall, but I'm not going to say that during the class.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. You're going to get something real, the C word or something. But
right.
Anyways, so give us the dates, give the info. Cause guys, this is the last chance to get in the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. The cutoff for the hotel, oh man, don't even get me going. But the cutoff is next Friday, with the rate that we have. It's like the government rate. And then God knows what they're going to put it at. Cause that hotel, I mean, I've looked at some of the dates. It's like $300 a night, which is insane.
Yeah, it is insane, right?
Yeah. So
what is this, Napa?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, but yeah, so next Friday, the 20th is the cutoff for the date. And I'm trying to get that pushed back a little bit, but the hotel is just, it is what it is. I sometimes they have a lot of power over me, which I can't control. You know what I mean? So, but the dates are April 14th, 15th, and 16th, and Myrtle Beach, obviously in South Carolina. We will be moving it next year. We will be announcing it we won't be back in Myrtle Beach. We're excited about the new location. I think you guys are going to like it. I can't tell you yet because I'd get in trouble.
Right. Yes, that's right.
So I would probably get my ass kicked, but, yeah, sometimes you have bosses, I have bosses too, so.
Right. Yeah. 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 Bosses who control a lot.
Yes. So
a lot in your life.
Yeah. But it's it's going to be a good turnout. We're expecting a good turnout again. It's looking good. So the weather looks hopefully supposed to be good down there. It's good. It's better than here.
Dude, Ted and I are the worst. We literally go to these things and maybe walk 2 blocks from the fucking. I'm the worst, man. Like we're just eating lunch in that place every day or whatever. It's good for the hotel and everything.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, we walked down to the Fuddruckers last time.
We did, and it was good. Yeah, it was good.
We walked down to that steak place near the beach.
Yeah.
That was a whole ordeal, that thing. But
I personally want to thank you guys for having me on and the support throughout the years. You guys have been great, and it's guys like you that this conference is successful for, because it's not about me, it's not about what I want. It's about guys like you that are in it every day and doing on the ground work, like you said. And I respect that and I appreciate it. And I've been very fortunate to have guys like you around. And so, thank you for always continue to support us. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's very kind. But also, we want to back ethical people, people who we only support conferences where the owner of the conference is not a convicted sex offender, which not everyone can say that. There's 2 conferences that cannot say that, and Joe can. So I will always support and detract from the other one as much as possible because, guys, you must have some fucking integrity at this point. I had just had a guy the other day that knows that guy's a convicted sex offender is going to his conference because he wants to go to Vegas. And I'm like, Vegas is fucking open 365. You don't need to give money to a convicted sex offender. Stop it. Right? What are we doing here? Come on. Anyways, I can't talk conferences without bitching about this fucking guy.
Well, we appreciate the support. That was my whole thing. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really do. You guys have, we've talked over the years, and you've, guided me in the right direction sometimes, and I respect that. So, and I'm not just blowing smoke up you guys' asses. I mean, I truly, really do appreciate all the support from everybody. And it's not it's guys like you, but it's even like Canines Unite, like everybody that supports our conference. I mean, it makes us want it drives me to make it want. I want to make this the best conference that we possibly could, because guys like you and just the support that we have.
And for those of you that are, curious or wondering, like motivation, everything like that, it's the millions of dollars that Joe makes off this conference.
Yeah.
It's the guiding factor.
Yeah. That's why I just worked an overtime shift. I worked midnights, and I come. Sure. Yep.
Piles of cash in the conference business.
Yeah. The hotels make a lot of money. That's for sure. But
and fucking napkins and shit.
Oh, Jesus. But it's definitely not about the money that drives me. It's about putting good quality information out there for handlers, because I was there once, and I'm still there. I'm still doing it, but it's tough starting off and being a brand new handler. And again, I was fortunate to have guys around me that were really well known in the canine industry, and it's just good to get different philosophies, and we can go on and on, but it's
reasonable there, because I'm telling you, you well know that probably more than half of the guys there are on their own dime.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to keep the cost down, and that's another thing I struggle with. I'm always trying to help guys out, and again, I'll never be rich, but I'm a cop. I don't care. I do it for the right reasons. If I could help guys out, I do. And that's kind of just my motto. And that's just what we're doing.
All right, htlk9.com.
Yes, sir.
Get on there, guys. Get registered. Get at the hotel. Come hang out with me and Ted and everybody else. Ted, where anything you want to promote?
Nah, everybody knows where I'm at. Torchlight, HRD, Working Dog Radio. Everybody knows where to fucking find me. Like, I mean, you listen to this show on that. Everybody knows. Like, and I see people send me DMs and shit all the time. They're like, "Oh, I heard you on the podcast, and I wanted to see what the Instagram is about." And they find out that it's a bunch of memes and talking shit.
And some stage diving or something.
And yeah, that was from the other day from the con. I went to a Terror concert, and I told my girlfriend, I was like, "If I disappear, just look at the stage. Why would you be on stage?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it.
Just wait."
Yeah, just wait. I'll be up there. So, yeah.
With fingerless gloves on, ready, like the 90s.
Throwing trash cans at teenagers.
Yeah.
So, so it's legal. It's the only time it's legal. Everybody knows where I'm at. You too. So
man, that's Canine.
Yeah. So man, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let me say something arrogant. If you bought a copy of my book, bring it and I'll sign it. Bring it to me, I'll sign it. Not that my signature means anything, but people, it's actually one of the most humbling things that I've come across in this industry is when somebody comes to me and asks me to sign my book. And I'm like, with crayon, okay, whatever, X. So, all right.
Great.
It was great talking to you, Joe.
Thank you,
we'll
sir.
see you shortly.
Yeah, see you in a month. Thanks again, guys, for having me. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Welcome to Working Dog Radio.